In this brief video, I want to show you how to save a search as an auto email for a client. The first thing, you could go and add a client to your contact list. Come down here, hit the add button, and then type in your client's first name, last name, and an email address. And by the way, you can type in multiple email addresses, up to 5, in this box down here, separated by a comma or a semicolon. But you don't have to add your client first. You can just go and do your search for your client first. Then you come in and pick your criteria, put in your details of whatever they want to see, and then when you're ready to save this search, just go to Results, come down to the button down here at the bottom called Save, and save it as a new auto email. Then it's going to ask you for your client's name. Well, that's okay if you didn't add your client first, because you can add them right here. You can just click on it, and the same spot that I just showed you, now you can come in and type in your client's name, an email address, and like I said, you can do up to 5 email addresses in here. You can also hit show all fields and type in the spouse's name, or put the spouse's name up here if you like, and maybe the kid's name down there. And you can do their address and so forth. Then save it, and then they will be up in this list here. You can blind carbon copy yourself if you like or not. Give it a name, and I would be specific on this name. If it's for listings in Anthem over $1 million, I would probably type in Anthem search over $1 million. Here's your welcome message, which you can modify this message and type in your own message, and then use the settings button down here to lock it in permanently. And then after they open that welcome message, they see a recurring email message, which you can also change and update it with your own message. This is the message they'll see every time it finds a new match. It's really short and brief, but you can change it and set it as your default also if you like. Then as you scroll down, you can send it ASAP to your client, once a day in the morning, once a day in the evening, or twice a day, or monthly. And then when you're done, just save it, and you'll notice I have a new auto email for my client. To find this, I can either go to my contacts, click on that client, and then here you'll see that I have one auto email for them, and it's right here. Or I can go up to My Matrix and find it under auto emails, and you'll notice it's right here also. Now, you'll notice we have some color codes here, so let me explain this real quick. The white means that the client hasn't clicked on it yet. We're waiting for them to do it. They've got 80 days to click on it, but I would be waiting. I wouldn't wait that long. I would follow up within a few days if they haven't clicked it. And then you can always just click on it and resend them the welcome message again if you need to. Once they click on it, it becomes green, and it will never expire for that client as long as they look at it one time in 80 days. As soon as they do, they get 80 more days, and it just goes on forever and ever, and it will give you a message when it gets turned off if they haven't looked at it in 80 days. Okay, so that's what the red is for. It says that it was disabled, and it'll say it was either disabled by you, the agent, or it was disabled due to inactivity because the client hasn't been there in 80 days, or maybe the client unsubscribed from it, and it will tell you that disabled by the client. Either way, you can simply just click on it, go to settings, and if you scroll down, you can just turn it back on. I'm just going to hit cancel here. Now, let me show you another example of an auto email, and that involves what we call the concierge mode. Let's say you've got a client that you don't want them to see the listings first. You want to look at it before it goes to them. You want to pre-approve them. So, if I go back and do my search again for Susan, and let's say Susan's looking for houses with white kitchen cabinets. Well, there's no way without looking at the pictures if it has white kitchen cabinets. So when I do that same search for her, $1 million or more, and I run my results. Now when I come down to save, new auto email, you'll still pick your client, give it a name, and I'll name it the same thing, but let's just pretend it's that same auto email. So here, this was my other option. Here's my welcome, here's that recurring that I talked about, but instead of using ASAP or once a day or twice a day, what I could do in this example is enable the concierge mode. So watch what happens in my schedule. When I enable the concierge mode, the schedule goes away and the client never sees it until I look at it and approve them. So when I hit the save button, it's going to take me to the list of all those houses, and it's up to me to start looking at and approving or rejecting. Then it's up to me to select them and approve them, or select them and reject them. And if I reject them, they never see it, those listings. And when I go back to my home page, what you're going to notice is you're going to have a concierge mode here. And you're going to see your client, and it's going to have a list of listings for you to approve. They will never see those listings until you go to them. Maybe start looking at the pictures of them and see if they do have white kitchen cabinets. And whether it does or not, then what you could do is just simply select it and select all of them if you like at one time and approve them or reject them at one time. Now, if you ever come back in months later and they change their mind on something, what's nice about this concierge mode is that you can look at the ones you have rejected. And when you look at the ones you've rejected, you can select them because they changed their mind on certain criteria, and then you can approve them and they go back out. But you can only do that for listings that you have rejected that still belong on their search criteria. If they are already sold or out of that criteria that they were looking for, you can't redo that there. So that's really a cool feature, and that's under the concierge mode for saving searches as an auto email. So I hope that helps. Just remember under My Matrix Auto Emails, what you're going to do, you're going to have a list of your auto prospecting searches. And then over here, it'll tell you if it's set up on ASAP once a day, or you'll see the concierge over here if you have listings set up in a concierge. And then what you can do if you need to turn these off is just click on it, and you could delete it and it's completely gone. That's fine. Or if you want to select it and turn it off temporarily, you could disable that. And when you hit OK, it does turn it off. And to me, that's just a temporary turn off. It'll stay in your auto emails, but it will not auto run. And you can go right back on it and turn it back on. Or watch this little trick. I can go into this auto email, go to settings, and then I can turn this auto email into a saved search. And by doing so and giving it the same name, over 1 million, saving it, you'll notice that it's not in my auto emails anymore. It is still under the contact of Susan and John Jones. Still there, but now it's a saved search, and I can also find it under Save Searches right here. So I hope this little video helps you, and if you have any questions, please let us know. Thank you.